Deion Sanders' much-anticipated debut as coach of the Buffaloes. A road game against a team that was in the national championship game a year ago, and it was the coach's kid, Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son, who threw for a Colorado record. He went over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he had the game winner with a little less than 5 minutes to go in the game, a 46-yard catch and run by someone named Dylan Edwards. We don't know who that is. He's apparently a true freshman. And Colorado, stunning the pigskin establishment with a 3-point win as 21-point underdogs over the 17th-ranked Horned Frogs of TCU, who were, again, the runner-up in college football a year ago. So let us discuss the question. What did you take away from Deion Sanders' Bafo Sacco debut as the Colorado coach? So I've got Goodyear Blimp, the pineapple upside-down cake, and camouflaged. And we will tie all of these things together, and we are going to make a soiree, a big old party is what we're going to make. So, let's start with this. Coach Prime, who apparently knows a thing or two about coaching. Now, we were already believers, if you will. We were drinking the Deion Delight, the Kool-Aid there. Haters like Eddie Garcia and other media pundits who took shots at Deion Sanders did not buy the hype. But we were on board. We bet the over on Colorado's win total this year. Looking pretty good right now. It's only one game. But Deion, at this point, can do a pirouette. And you never get that second chance to make a first impression. The whole college football world was watching as Colorado took the field there. It was on Fox, and Deion Sanders took full advantage of the moment, and his players took full advantage of the moment, setting the tone for what is to come here. And Coach Prime, it's like he rented out the Goodyear Blimp there and advertised to the heavens, the Buffaloes have arrived. The stampede has begun. And that was an atomic elbow to the orthodoxy of college football, the establishment, because the consensus was that Deion Sanders was setting up for an absolute disaster. He did things that you're not supposed to do at the time you're not supposed to do them. For example, he fired just about everyone who had anything to do with Colorado football. He either fired them or encouraged them to leave. We had a mass exodus. Colorado bringing in 87 new players, all shapes and sizes, coming into that football program, turning the Colorado Buffaloes into essentially an expansion franchise of college football after the one-win season a year ago. Now, following up on that, page 2 here, with the upset win. Now, I would like to criticize Deion Sanders, even though I am on the Deion Sanders hype train. Deion attempted to immediately settle some scores with those in the media that did not buy into his ability in a press conference exchange with a random reporter. I'm not even sure the name of this reporter, but whoever the reporter was did not have flattering things to say about Deion Sanders. And so Sanders got into it, a back and forth, a tit-for-tat situation here as he confronted the reporter. Do you believe now? We actually have the audio. Take a listen. Let's go to the audio tape.
What's up, boss? You believe that? You hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh?
No.
Oh no. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all that. Yeah. Oh no. Come on. Do you believe? You don't believe. You just answered it. You don't believe. Next question.
All right, so Deion falling into the preacher there giving a sermon, and he wanted the people in the tabernacle to give him the amen, and he did not get the amen. And also, when he was exiting that news conference, he said he would keep receipts. And he mentioned that at least a couple other times during postgame interviews. So how do you grade Deion Sanders? You heard the rant, most of it, to a random sports writer over doubting Colorado football. So this was, the word I'll use is clumsy. This was clumsy, and Deion should know better. There's no reason to be upset. It's not, last I checked, the reporter's job to be a cheerleader for Colorado football. Deion should know this. He's of an older generation. He's not from the modern generation where teams have reporters who are on the payroll for their websites, the flunkies that follow around the teams and give Manny and Petty reports on what's going on. Deion is from an era where this is how it was done. People were critical, and that's how it was supposed to be. But you don't have to have buddies who are the media people. And Deion Sanders, what he ought to do is give that writer and all the other people that were critical the pineapple upside down kick as a gift. Why? Because the critic is the inspiration. Like, I'm on the Deion Sanders hype train. I'm not the person Deion Sanders wants. You should want the so-called, in air quotes, haters. Those are the people you should want. Right? You listen to the haters. That's always been the way it is. My entire life, at some point, I had an epiphany, and I realized all of sports is teams winning and saying, nobody believed in us. We overcame the odds. All of that, right? And so here Colorado is with Deion Sanders, one of the most famous people to play the game of football in the last couple of generations. Head coach now. The man oozes confidence. And he's got people out there that do not believe he can get it done. And the establishment of college football, we talked about that a lot over the last couple of weeks and months, that they are cheering against Deion Sanders. But Deion ought to embrace all of that because it's jet fuel in terms of motivation, that manufactured outrage, that you are determined to prove the doubters wrong, and you're going to do it. All right, last word here. So let's move over to the Chipster, former Philadelphia Eagles coach, former 49ers coach. Guy's a vagabond coach. He's at UCLA now. The UCLA Bruins playing. You talk about a tough schedule. Coastal Carolina. Holy crap. What a great opponent. Now, I'm not going to talk about the game itself, but something Chip Kelly said, the UCLA Bruins head coach, caught my attention. He was very unhappy with the NCAA's adjustment to the clock. And in Division I and other divisions, but we only care about Division I because that's all we care about. But the clock no longer stops when teams get first downs unless it's the last 2 minutes of the half. And the clock just keeps running and running. What does that remind you of? Oh, the NFL. Now, the NCAA says that they're doing this in an effort to shorten games. Chip Kelly spoke out against this. He said the new rule, it's crazy, he said. He did this at halftime of UCLA's game over the weekend against Coastal Carolina. He said, we had 4 drives in the first half. This game goes fast. And then, sarcastically, the rotund Chip Kelly said, I hope you guys are selling a lot of commercials. Close quote. So are the new clock rules working to shorten college football games? So I am shaking my head no. If that was the stated goal, the answer is no. That is a swing and a miss. Chip Kelly and the other coaches who have ranted, Chip's not alone, but he was the most boisterous of the bunch. They're spot on. And I'm not buying what the NCAA is selling, the theory that college football, big-time college football, the reason that they're doing this is out of an abundance of caution to shorten games, to protect the players. There's too many plays in college football. No, I go by the theory that the NCAA is doing this because they know that they're going to fill the gaps with extra commercials during college football games. And even though they like to pretend they're all about the student athlete and all that, this is really just a chance to get more commercials on a broadcast. Nobody questions things if you say they're done for players' safety out of an abundance of caution. You can do whatever you want. We learned that during COVID a couple years ago. You shut the country down. You can do all kinds of crap if you say it's out of an abundance of caution. In this particular incident, or rule change rather, in college football, it is camouflaged advertising is what it is by the NCAA. It's like, we're going to shorten the game, but we're just going to put more commercials in there. Now, what is my evidence? The data. Now, last year, the average time of game was 3 hours and 27 minutes. for a collegiate football game, big-time college football. To start this year, now it's only been a few games. We don't have a full sample size of all season and all that, but the early results are tracking at an average game time of 3 hours and 29 minutes. My computer-like brain tells me that's 2 minutes longer. So if your effort is to quicken up the game, get the games over with, and then the games are actually going a little longer than they did a year ago in the early going, what is going on here? What's making up the difference? Well, I think we know what's making up the difference. And so they've replaced the plays, the action, a few more plays, with car commercials or commercials for some kind of medical product or you name it. And they've knocked themselves out with that is what they've done.